Hello, everyone. Oh, okay, let me check. It's my honor to introduce Faraz and Nima from Omelegg to you. These two gentlemen have been running a very successful restaurant business in Amsterdam over the past few years, and I hope their story today is going to be inspirational for you. Faraz and Nima, the floor is all yours, guys. Have fun and enjoy their story.
Thank you very much, Michiel.
Thank you, Michiel. Hello, everybody. I'm Nima, the co-founder of Omelegg, together with Faraz. We are both brothers as well as co-founders of Omelegg. So we started in 2013, our first location, and it's 1 second. Yes, there you go. So just to give you an impression of what we are going to talk about, we're going to start with the starter, the main, and the dessert.
Just to stay in the restaurant team.
Yes. So let's go. Before we started Omelegg, I was working in the gastronomy and hospitality for over 10 years. I started as a dishwasher and went to the kitchen, not cooking though, always the assistant chef. And I was doing front of the house at some moments. And I also did hotels, bars, clubs for a course of 10 plus years. And well, Faraz, you can.
Yes. Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. So before Omelegg 2013, I used to work for the Dutch Lean Management Institute. I stayed there for 2.5 years, and it was a great time to do to gain a lot of experience. And this has also been a very important factor in in the last 12 years of us running the restaurant. And maybe you can tell how the idea started.
So the idea started very casually. We were on a road for a trip, and along the way we were talking, what should we do? What is the next phase in life for us? So we said let's do something in the hospitality, and there the idea was born. As simple as that. Obviously, the way it was initiated, like the things that we were thinking about, or the ideas or the pictures, the mood boards that we were making have totally nothing to do with the today's shape and form of the company. But it was a very ambitious, nice foundation to see and optimize along the way. So we are a full service restaurant specialized in omelets. At the moment, 95% of our dishes consists of out of eggs in different shapes and forms. Because of the integration of lean over the entire process, we obviously apply made to order. We have an open kitchen design where people have the guests get the full experience of a person cooking for them. So you have the personal aspect, and we take prize for being a zero waste restaurant. And when we say zero waste, we mean really, really zero waste. So we will never ever have to put anything into the garbage bin because of over ordering or expiry date or some sort. So that is what we do. We are open. We are a morning concept. So we open from 7 to 3:30 during the week and 8 to 3:30 during the weekend.
So where did our fixation with efficiency start? In 2013, when we started, we were actually one of the very few breakfast places in Amsterdam. It really gained traction very fast. I think after 5 to 6 months, we started having the first waiting lines in front of our first store. That's the top picture that you see. Well, this resulted actually in unhappy guests, because in the beginning you are very happy that it's getting busy, but you are absolutely not prepared for what is coming and what is happening to you. And another point is that the perception of people for breakfast, it's a simple dish. So the idea is that they are expecting not to wait longer than 10 to 20 minutes for their dishes to be ready. And in reality, in those first months that we got busy, the waiting times went close to or even over an hour. So, and this is from ordering their dish. So we really felt the need to change something, and we sat at the drawing table and we started continuing to completely redesign our processes from beginning to the end. And the first one was actually over a course of, I think, 5 to 6 years, we did 4 major kitchen renovations. And usually when a restaurant is running, you're not thinking of completely taking out the kitchen design and throwing it basically in the garbage. But we really felt a necessity, and it was really important for us to do the investment. And this resulted in 4 major renovations. And the key points that we focused on was the flow of individual ingredients. And what do I mean by that? So where you have the process of adding the hot ingredients, and the hot ingredients are the ingredients that go on the grill, they need to be located close to each other, and also for the cold ingredients. And if you create the flow, what happens is your process becomes much faster, and also the steps that staff needs to take, the actual physical steps are reduced vastly. This results also in well, a better, healthier environment, working environment, but also a faster throughput time, which it was very necessary in order to reduce the waiting time of 1 hour. Another positive point of the new kitchen designs that we reiterated over the years is that they are at this point completely seamless, which means they are very easy to clean and fast to clean. So yeah, these were all positive points that we experienced after the last major upgrade.
So at some time we realized everything is streamlined. All the processes, the front of the house, the kitchen, are great. We are at pace. The only problem was the storage area, which was not visible to guests, obviously, and that was the only point of improvement in our eyes, which we drastically changed. And we applied, obviously, the Kanban cards for the whole Kanban system in our storage area. We have simplified this process to an extent that a person that comes for the first day in our organization is able to order without instructions. It is that simple, and we really take pride for that. And this also resulted, as you can see, in 80% reduction of cooling space. Also because we went from weekly orders to daily orders, which is in line of ordering just in time. The 70% reduction in freezing space, which is also the freshness of the food, so you don't need to freeze and defrost. This is also promoting the quality of our dishes, and the 60% reduction overall inventory, which besides the cash flow that it opens up, it also gives you so much more space. The space that was always occupied by boxes and boxes, and it made it a very unorganized place to be. It's now very, very clear, clean, and you have oversight at all times. Also, because of the unorganized, let's say, storage and inventory, what happened is that people were either over ordering or under ordering, which resulted in a lot of times visiting the supermarkets because we were short on one ingredient or two, or it was too little for to get through the day. And this has also been reduced by 66%, which is major.
So the next point was when we looked at this two-bin system for our inventory, we thought, okay, we might as well also apply it to our mise en place process, which is the process of actually taking the ingredients and making them ready to go into the cooking process. The reason that we really required this was we needed standardization. And if you look on the whiteboards that we use, the reason that we use whiteboard is because they are very physical and they are really in your face in a good way, because you cannot go around it. We have experienced either from colleagues that are in the industry or ourselves, using digital lists and systems is just impractical in a kitchen setting, and this has to do because most of it is hidden. And when you make the process analog, that there is an action required and very visible, it really works in our experience. And we standardize you see behind each and every ingredient, there is a letter. So you can imagine when you order different products, there is different weights, different packaging. It's unstandardized, it's not very standardized. So we translated this in the gastronorm containers, which are the metal containers that the restaurant industry uses. So that is one language that the numbers translate into. So for example, the first one is bacon D. So we need one. So the staff knows that it's about one container size D. So everything is standardized. And at the end of the day, you see what you have left and you make the planning for the next day. This results in you don't need to, you don't under prep, you don't over prep. You don't have to guess the next morning either that you start or your colleague starts. You don't need to guess what you have to make, and you already prepare them for the priority. So you're signaling what needs to be done first in order to get through the day. And this whole process creates, it manages the fluctuations that you have based on the actual usage that your restaurant is producing. So you don't have to make batches like we did before. We made batches of bacon, batches of onion, batches of cheese grated. But now we are actually, by using this whiteboard, we only use what we need for the day. Another point that was after we implemented these systems was to look at our ordering process. Initially, because we have a very traditional homey concept, we really were keen on holding on to the traditional order taking, which is using the pen and paper. But at some point, we noticed that this is just not working and it's slowing down the process. So you have to imagine we use the single centralized tablet system. So the staff goes around, takes order, goes to the standardized central system and inserts the order, collects the tickets, and has to distribute the tickets throughout the different stations that we have, which is the bar, the cold section, and the hot section of the kitchen. We remove this entire process by watching what we would actually gain in taking away. And this was by analyzing the camera footage from the shops over a half a day, over multiple locations, different times. And we realized a reduction of 40.3% of the time spent to take the order. So instead of using a centralized system for the staff to distribute the orders, we did the orders right away from the handhelds at the table at the guest. So you take away all the non-value adding processes, and this actually resulted us in saving one staff member for our store ordering process.
So then the turn was for the menu. The menu took a lot of trial and error, and the very foundation is not per se a very
rocket science.
Rocket science. It's basically a gut feeling that you have, that you know there is room for improvement. So we started off with studying actually the data. Because we are very passionate about our concept and about the food that we produce, we also have our personal favorites. So there were favorite dishes that we really were keen on, but they weren't selling as much as you would like to. But you never took them off just because you felt like these are really good dishes. But at some point we were like, no, we are going to focus on the data. The data will speak for itself, and that is what we actually applied. And in doing so, we reduced the number of ingredients from 33 to 22, the side dishes from 16 to 8, and the suppliers from 16 to 6, which was also major in terms of miscommunication actually, and that really streamlined the whole process. Over the last 5 months, we have done 3 times menu implementations by the so-called heat mapping, which is not really applicable on something physical, but we try to based on the data to locate the high sellers, and then to see, okay, what will happen if we would move them by knowing the psychological aspect of people always like the location of the eye when you are given a menu in a restaurant, there is data on that. And we applied and tried to combine everything into one menu. And the fifth version of the menu, which is currently used, we have gained 7% steady revenue increase by not increasing the prices. And this is really fascinating. And this is really, it took a lot of time, but actually there is proof that it worked. So we are very proud on that.
After doing this, we analyzed all the data we had actually from our POS system in order to see that whether it actually works or not. You can see that we started using this when we started measuring from 2014, the actual ticket time was 45-minute plus. And you see the reduction, and this is a result of all the before mentioned process that we changed. And we also went very detailed on ingredients. So for example, you can imagine if you have a sausage that is cut, for example, 2 centimeters thick, it has a different cooking time than a 1 centimeter thick sausage. By looking every individual ingredient and basically for 95% adjusting the thickness or the size of the ingredient, we made sure that the cooking time of all ingredients are the same. So when you are visiting our store with 4 friends that order 4 different dishes, they will all be ready at the same time. Why? Because the cooking time has been done, designed in a way that they can all be done at the same time. So you don't have to wait for a dish when your friends are eating. And this creates all through the day a very nice flow in order to also be able to serve more customers. And that is the result that you see, that the ticket time, which is from the ordering until payment, that we reduce so much minutes actually on a daily basis on the average orders. So there we go. This is the last page. So we don't stop when things go well. What do we mean by that? Everything is working. The first year after the first kitchen renovation that we did, everything worked. But something in us tells us not to stop when things go well. And this is actually one of the main principles of the PDCA cycle. We continue and continue and continue because in our view, there is never an end to optimization. Already now we see that the things that we have implemented that we just presented, that there is still room for improvement. And the way we go about this is also to engage our staff. We actually do physical tests in the store together with them. We ask them for suggestions. And in terms of involving them, we actually do and implement and test the suggestion that our staff gives, and this really keeps them involved. And how we maintain is, of course, as Nima explained earlier, our storage places are very clean, 5S. We just continue going and maximizing for improvement in each and every process.
I think one of the parts, just to add to the, let's say, the HR category, what we really have been doing lately is really getting the staff into the game. So we actually teach them, we explain why things are the way they are. We show them the data that it really works. So it's not just a theory, but it's actually working. Lately, we have been doing, instead of doing evaluation talks with the staff as traditionally every restaurant does, we do a survey for them to actually rate us based on certain questions that we could improve, but from their point of view. And they see when we actually listen to their shortcomings or to their maybe genius ideas that happens every now and then, that we can actually apply it, and they feel pride of being part of the progress and the improvement. So that is what I really wanted to emphasize. I think We are in time now.
Yes, and just to summarize, what we really prize in having gained in this whole process is that we are really, as Nima said, zero waste. So we really, really do not throw away single ingredients. Even just to give you an example, when you have a loaf of a bread, normally the ends that are small and hard and are the rounding edges of the bread, we used to throw them away. But what we do now is we created a dish that we can implement that ending of the bread by cutting them in 4 pieces in order to make sure that even the little pieces of bread that we used to throw away, we don't even throw that away now. And besides that, it's overall the flow is better, the movements are less, so less energy with more results. This simply improve the staff well-being, and they actually say it. So it's not like it's in our mind that we think it is like that, but they literally tell us what the little improvements have done for them. So for us, really, efficiency goes over compromises, and it's not only on reducing price, but it's really increasing in the well-being and the overall flow of the entire process from beginning to the end.
Nice.
And yeah,
Amazing. Amazing.
Mm.
Really good story. There are still some questions from the public.
perfect.
Are there still things that you want to know? Please let us know, either in the comments or the question and answer sessions. Do you have questions for these guys? I see a comment, so clear implementation of lean thinking. Great. Very motivating example. Congratulations. Nice, guys. Do you also inspire other restaurants?
Actually, the funny thing is, like, our storage space has such an effect on people. Even the suppliers that supply, they are amazed that, like, why all other restaurants are not applying this system. And we have been obviously talking about it with some friends that are in the same business, and people are actually seeing the value of this, and they are really open to see if they can apply this as well. And we, on our hand, are thinking like maybe we should do something for the community as well, in that sense, to actually help them out. The kickstart of applying lean into the entire concept, but especially in the storage, because we feel like the storage is the place where you can really save money and also waste of time.
All right. All right, guys, there's another question. Do customers realize that you work differently?
Yes, it's very funny actually that every time we speak to staff or they just tell us, when people come and after their dinner or their breakfast is done, they come to the register to pay, and they really often tell us how they perceive us, and they always use the words, "You're such an oiled machine." And this, over the last couple of years, we have heard this so often that people actually notice it. And why is that? Because we are in, doesn't matter when there's a full line of 30 people waiting outside or there's nobody in the store, the food comes out within 15 minutes. That's the max. So even faster. So imagine when you're coming to a full restaurant with 30, 40, 50 seats, there is a line outside, you have been waiting in that line, you sit at the table, you order, and within 15 minutes your food is in front of you and your drink. This is really impressive for them, and that's why they actually say it. So yeah, they really do notice.
Okay, last question from Wendy. How is the staff experiencing the lean environment? How are they experiencing it?
What the first thing is that in the past, if you would ask somebody, go and make the orders, everybody has the anxiety to make mistakes. Now the system will basically make sure that you cannot make mistakes, because the system takes away the thinking part of a human being, basically, as simple as that. And in this way, nobody makes mistakes, so they are not scared to take orders. To put in orders from the suppliers. And this is gaining their confidence, and they are actually much more involved in the entirety of it. And they feel like the fast paced and that they are part of such team. They really take pride for it, and they actually tell us. And that is for us, we are very thankful for that.
And there is one more thing to add to this is that the last 1.5 years, we implemented a new process in our HR. There is not enough time to go into detail, but basically we went from a full-time working week from 5 days to 4 days. Yes. So everybody that is working in Omelegg now works 4 days a week. And this is, again, it's a lot of detail to go into at this point, but this is a result of all the things that we did over the years that made this possible. And the staff is so happy. It gives us so much energy that it's actually, they're telling us like literally that it's improved their social life, their personal life, and their working life.
Yeah, and even within the competitive environment of Amsterdam, you don't have to recruit, because even if people leave, they suggest new staff to you. So I mean, it speaks volumes, I guess. I see there's still some time left. How's the training for the staff? How do you train the staff? Is that something you can explain in short terms?
Yes, we have simplified the processes in an extent. And also actually the equipment we have automated, if possible, some, like let's say the coffee machine. Often because the systems are so fast, the processes that we do, the coffee machine was actually too slow, a manual coffee machine. So we actually integrated an automatic coffee machine in order to cope with the speed of the kitchen. And what was the question again?
How we implemented certain kitchen layout.
So the kitchen, because it's simplified in that to the max, basically. The new staff that is basically for the kitchen, they are trained with the cook on that day, and it could be anybody. It's basically they just jump into the process. They just observe and they replicate. And what we needed basically onboarding kitchen staff, maybe it took a month for them to become individual, and now it's basically a week and a half. And that really shows the processes have been simplified, and it's very easy to catch on to. And the same thing for the front of the house. All the ordering system, everything, we have chosen the easiest and simple ways, the shortest steps to take, which really makes sure that people are onboarded very, very quickly.
All right, nice. Do you also educate the staff on the principles of Lean? Do you take them along in their education?
Yes, the managers, for example, they are very well aware of what the concept of Lean means. And actually, we have planned to do a green belt for our managers to totally get into it, because we really want them to also, with our future ambitions, that they can actually handle everything entirely individually, like independently.
All right. Well, gentlemen, I think that concludes the questions that I've seen so far. Thank you so much for sharing your story. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I see congratulations from Barcelona coming in from Oriol. So he's been enjoying the session as well.
Thank you.
I hope it was a pleasant session for everybody, and glad to have you on board, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody, and thank you, Michiel.
Have a nice day.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you.